Good afternoon. My name is Mike Perazzo. I'm the Vice President of Business Development for Kaivac Incorporated. With me today is Bob Jr. We're obviously very excited to be here in Las Vegas. I know some of you guys had to swim in this morning, so that was refreshing to have the rain this morning. We're going to walk you guys through. We're going to breathe a little life into this product. Obviously, it'd be great if we could demo it and you can see it live, but that's the whole point. If you guys want to come see us later on and learn a little bit more about the equipment, we'll do that. With me today is Bob Jr. He's our Executive Vice President. And the way we kind of set this up is I'm going to kind of lead Bob through some questions that are commonly asked about this product and kind of breathe a little bit of life into the concept of what we're doing here with our nominee, the Kaivac Stretch. And before I do that, I want to thank everybody for obviously voting. We put a lot of material out there to try to seed the market here, to learn about our new innovation and why we're so excited. For Kaivac, this is our first eco line. So it's the first product that's going to start an eco division. And the reason we're doing that is our customers are very interested in sustainability and using less water and using less chemical, but still driving a really high quality cleaning outcome. And so the Stretch is going to give us an opportunity to do some really unique things to drive savings and cleaning value in a unique way. So we're going to walk you guys through that. So I'm assuming because you're here, you guys all voted for us, so I'm basically just saying thank you. Is that fair? All right. So moving on, I'm going to ask Bob the first question here. When you guys think of Kaivac, most people think of they're the restroom guys. Is that fair to say, Bob?
Well, sure. I mean, we are the restroom guys. We live in the restrooms. We love restrooms. We've been on our hands and knees. We've cleaned toilets. We've cleaned every kind of restroom. I used to clean restrooms in a tuxedo. I don't know if that was child abuse as a kid, but I had to clean it in a tuxedo. Yeah, we're the restroom guys. I mean, that's where we started. We cut our teeth in restrooms. We're all about soil removal, and it was the process of cleaning restrooms that taught us who we are and what our cleaning system's capabilities are. So yeah, so when you go around, you see the big yellow machine. Yeah, that's Kaivac. That's us, the inventors.
Spray on, blast off,
yeah,
back away.
That's what we do.
But recently, it's fair to say that our brand has evolved a little bit, right? We've started to transition out of the restroom and bring our concepts and technologies out into other areas that matter inside of a facility. So I'm going to let Bob kind of talk a little bit about how the product line has grown and why have we expanded outside of the restroom? What is the value of us doing that for the brand? So walk us through why we're even doing this as a company.
Sure. So you guys know us as the restroom folks, and all we did was just continue to listen to our customers. And our customers were repeatedly telling us, hey, listen, we have floor care challenges still. We still have floor challenges. The tools aren't working, the results aren't there, we're just not getting what we need. And so we were saying, hey, listen, from our experience in restrooms, we know how to get restroom floors really clean. In fact, the science tells us they're so clean you can eat off of them.
I don't think anybody's going to do that today.
But you could. If you Kaivac the restrooms, you could eat off of it. So we're saying, wow, with our technology, we can get restroom floors that clean. Why can't we apply that same technology out into hard surface floors? So it could be kitchen floors, restrooms, it could be hard surface, hallways, gymnasiums, stadiums, you name it.
And there was that common thread that kept coming up. You know, we're surveying our questions, we're saying, what are you looking for? And they're like, it's really not that difficult. Right. We want clean, sparkling bright, and we want them to be safe. Help us.
Right. So, you know, really what we found out, Mike, I don't know the best way to put this. We found out through science and through our testing in restrooms, what we found out was that Kaivac sucks. I hope our marketing team's not out here. Kaivac sucks.
Elaborate on what you mean by that.
We vacuum. We suck. We recover. So because Kaivac sucks and has vacuum suction, we have the ability to remove soil versus moving soil. So we said, hey, if we vacuum in a restroom and provide the results that we get in the restrooms, why not take that outside? And so by using stream extraction.
Does that make sense? So it was, again, listening to the customer, addressing very specific challenges. These are realities that we all face that are daily part of our expertise. We were tackling the #1 building maintenance complaint at a high level with our no-touch technology, and we're incorporating similar concepts into floor care, and it's been received really well. That's why we're excited about this product. So I think what we're going to do is let you kind of let Bob walk you through kind of the design, and then because we can't show it out here on the carpet, I spliced in a little video for you guys to see this thing come to life. But Bob, I mean, this thing looks like a Kaivac. You know, it's got great colors.
Yeah.
I'm sure you picked those, black and yellow. That's our favorite. But it's definitely a little bit more compact than a no-touch cleaning machine. What exactly is this thing designed to do?
Sure, so great question. So just to point out kind of the way the system works, we'll start first with the black or the bottom trolley system. That's where our cleaning solution goes. It just stores inside this bottom container. Up top, the yellow tank, which I think black and yellow looks pretty good.
It's a great color choice.
Our yellow tank up top is our vacuum recovery system. So where all of our soap and soil and liquid that we remove from the floor ends up into our top tank to be stored, either to be repurposed later or to be dumped down the drain. On the top, we just simply have a valve system that allows us to control how much liquid goes out onto the floor as we walk along. On the bottom, as we dispense our cleaning solution on the floor, our microfiber pad spreads our cleaning solution, but it also dust mops ahead of time. And then most importantly, through our extreme squeegee extraction system, right, we have the ability to vacuum. So that's where the suction comes in place, the most important piece. So we dispense cleaning solution, and then we vacuum it up and put it back into the top tank.
And so there's one other thing I want to draw your guys' attention to, and it's been a big topic of conversation in our booth this week, is why do you guys have TVs hanging from all of your machines? Why do we have these mini tablets? Okay, and so the Kai Tutor is a part of this invention. And so Bob, explain why we made the investment in a tablet and in training to help our end user community.
Yeah, we have a little problem in our industry. You guys know it, it's called turnover, right? So we know that our systems work better, but if we don't train our folks properly, they're going to revert back to old technology. I'm comfortable with this, I'm comfortable with a mop. And we're trying to say, look, we have to incorporate technology to improve our results and get better results. But if we can't train folks quickly and efficiently, we just always keep reverting back to mops and buckets. So we said, listen, there's a new piece of technology out called YouTube. Everybody knows about it, okay? I use it all the time to fix faucets or doorknobs or whatever the problems are in my house. And you play, you pause, and then you execute. And so we're thinking, why don't we put a standalone system on each of our pieces of equipment so the custodian at the job or at where he's cleaning, not with a manager or not back in some back room in a computer, but at the location he could play, pause, and then do it. Oh, okay. Play, pause, and then do it. And so what it did was it sped up our training time, reduced our issues with turnover, and allowed just anybody to grab the piece of equipment. So
and we're also driving productivity, right? Is if we can get people up to speed faster on the innovation, it begins to pay for itself quicker. You build that confidence. Other people are watching people embrace new technology. They want to be a piece of that. And it's about automating the entire staff to be able to get more quality work done in less time. We really wanted to invest in that consistent message to build end user confidence so that they can maximize what the technology can do and not revert back to the old traditional way of cleaning. Does that make sense? So I'm going to bring this to life for you guys a little bit, a little quick snippet of one of our videos, and maybe you saw it on social, but it'll really explain what Stretch is all about and what it's doing.
Prior to the actual cleaning process, the AutoVac Stretch system is loaded with 11 gallons of diluted cleaning solution, 8 gallons in the trolley bucket, an additional 3 gallons in the vacuum tank. The dilution rate is approximately 1 ounce to 1.5 ounces per gallon, depending on soil conditions. To begin the cleaning process, the operator turns on the vacuum motor and opens the spigot on the rear of the trolley bucket to release the cleaning solution. As the operator moves forward, the cleaning solution is applied directly to the floor where it is spread evenly with a trailing microfiber spreader pad. The solution and soils are then extracted from the floor surface as the squeegee head passes over it and then are transported into the vacuum tank. As the liquid enters the vacuum tank, it passes through a fine mesh filter bag that collects debris and contaminants that are 150 microns or larger. For perspective, 150 microns is the approximate size of a typical crystal of table salt. In addition, the system also provides a secondary filtration function through a built-in sedimentation trough on the bottom of the vacuum tank, where excess soils and particulates settle out. The process continues until the cleaning solution reaches the transfer indicator on the sight gauge. At this point, the cleaning solution is transferred back into the trolley bucket through a separate spigot on the rear of the vacuum tank. This enables the cleaning process to continue without wasting valuable time returning to the janitor's closet for a refill. This process can be repeated multiple times, depending on soil loads and desired outcomes.
So it gives you guys a little snapshot of what we're doing, right? And the video kind of brings to life the concept of how easy it is for the worker. You know, they're essentially taking paths and moving back and forth, putting down solutions, spreading it, but then recovering it quickly. So we wanted you guys to be able to visually see that, but then understand why would we even take the time to invent something like this? And Bob's going to explain, when we're looking at our product line and we're looking at where another product may come into play, you obviously have to have a rationale for why you would design that piece of equipment. And what I want you guys to see here are the options that are really kind of readily available to us as we approach cleaning, and why we think that there's a great space for a concept like this. So Bob, if you would explain where you kind of see us fitting in all of these great options that are out here, why would we be relevant in this space?
Look, we're not the first to work on floor cleaning systems, right? There's plenty of options in the industry. And so what we did was we started to break down and look at what are the options for folks in the industry. And you go to the far left, the extreme, you've got a standard mop and bucket, right? Low cost entry point, easy to train. Almost every kid's first job at McDonald's or wherever is grab the mop and go clean. The problem is grabbing the mop and going clean doesn't work because mops don't clean, right? They do a good job of spreading and a terrible job of removing. Oops, I just said it. Mops don't work, right? Well, it's nothing new. We know that. They do a good job of finger painting, but a terrible job of removal. So you have this option over here, and then you go to the far right, which is the auto scrubber dryers, and they do work. Mike, why do scrubbers work? What's the most important piece on there?
Because they suck.
Right?
They remove, right? They incorporate vacuuming into their philosophy, so it is a very functional, useful device.
Right.
However,
you know, there comes with challenges, right? Expense, cost. They work, but expensive to maintain and cost.
Or sometimes you have to have just the one person that's really equipped to run that. Well, what about all the other areas of the building? If I just have the floor person, can I really impact all the areas that I need in a building if I have one kind of floor specialist running what can be a fairly cumbersome, complex piece of equipment? We think that's where this opportunity comes in.
Right. So where stretch fits in is kind of right in the middle. And the key is we want auto scrubber performance, which we achieve, but we want it at a fraction of the cost. And so there's this kind of in-between market where stretch really, really fits in the industry.
I agree. So we'll walk you through this, okay? And I'm going to get a big elephant out in the room. We were promoting and are continuing to promote very aggressive productivity rates. So if you read anything about the product prior, we have done a variety of different testing, and we're coming out with numbers that are in the 20,000 square feet per hour for cleaning. And I'm assuming this is kind of open areas, hard surfaces, VCT, terrazzo, polished concrete. That's our sweet spot. Mm-hmm. How are you guys justifying the ability to clean at that rate? Can you walk everybody through how we can promote and kind of prove that we're maximizing that kind of productivity? Because that's substantial.
Well, just to confirm, it's 25,000 square feet. That's our average. Some folks are going up, and we're not talking about running up and down hallways. We're talking about walking at a gentle pace, right? How in the world can we clean 25,000 square feet at just a simple up and back pace throughout our facilities? Well, a couple things are occurring. We talked about the microfiber system that's in the back, right? And we said it does a couple things, a couple functions. Number one, what did I say earlier? Mops do a really good job of doing one thing. What did I say they do a really good job at? Spreading. Right? So we needed a device that was going to spread our cleaning solution across a 28-inch wide cleaning path. So the microfiber did a good job of spreading. But number two, one of the most important features, if you're going to go out and mop, or if you're going to auto scrub, what do you need to do prior? Sweep or dust mop, right? So because we incorporate microfiber, we do two systems in one pass. We pre-dust mop and we wet clean. So all of a sudden, we just eliminated a step. And then we showed in the video a couple things you saw in the video, which I will say, if you need an autograph, he was in the video.
Was a pretty good looking custodian, I think.
So in the video, you notice Mike was running up and down. We are untethered by a cord. So we are running lithium-ion battery systems. So we are cordless. So, that's an ability to increase. But we also have this reduced trips back and forth to the closet by repurposing our cleaning solution. So you saw in the video, once we fill up our vacuum tank, we stop our process, we open up our top valve, we repurpose back into our container, and we continue to go. That's big. You guys know how long it takes. You go back to the closet, we fill up, we have to stop what we're doing, empty the system out, we have to refill it, it takes time, and then you get in there and you start checking Facebook or whatever. Before you know it, we wasted a lot of time. Here, right on the floor, we clean, we stop, we repurpose, we continue to go, so it increases productivity. And we also have a 28-inch wide cleaning path. So it's a pretty good wide swath that we're able to move quickly.
I'm going to stop you there because I think you just brought out the second elephant in the room. You've heard Bob use the word intentionally repurpose or recycle a couple of times. What I know everybody wants to know is, can I truly achieve real high quality cleaning outcomes using repurposed solution? I think you need to address that because that's what Stretch is really all about. That's how we can really maximize this, but that has to work, and people have to believe in that. And I know it was kind of part of even the name of the product is you have to stretch your mind a little bit, right? You have to think differently, and that was all intentional in the design of this equipment. So explain how we're going to be able to do that, Bob.
Sure. Look, the reality is we repurpose cleaning solution all the time. We just may or may not know that we do it. We're in Vegas. We've got big buildings, and you're on the 30th floor. We see it all the time. Somebody's hanging from the 30th floor, and he's sitting on, he's got rappelling gear. He looks like he's climbing Mount Everest, and he's cleaning windows. One of the hardest things to clean, right? You guys have done it, right? You sit there and try and clean, and there's a spot, and you keep cleaning. But this guy's hanging off a building 40 stories up. And what's he got in that bucket? Is that fresh solution, or is it dirty? Right? He's dipping in and he's applying cleaning solution to the window. But Mike, what's the most important piece of the puzzle that he uses next?
He uses a very crisp squeegee.
Right. So he squeegees. So we've seen that, right? Dirty solution on a window. He takes a window squeegee. He begins to squeegee. He uses gravity now to move both soap and soil down. We do the same thing. We apply cleaning solution, and right behind is our vacuum squeegee. The difference is instead of using gravity, we just use vacuum.
Suction. Right.
Suction.
Which is where the joke comes from.
So the point being with this guy, we do it every single day. We don't have fresh garden hoses, and the windows on the 40th floor are just as clean as the first floor because of the process. We don't have a product problem, we have a process problem in our industry. And second, here's what really will kind of mess with you. Through our science and through our study, we already clean with soiled solution. Every time you put cleaning solution onto a dirty or targeted surface, what does it do? It begins to break down the soil, right? So the moment I put cleaning solution onto a surface, it begins, so we're already cleaning with dirty solution.
Right.
We just don't think of it that way.
And I think the window example is an easy way to think about it, but you're going to, to go out into the market and really promote something, you're going to need something a little bit more behind that.
Right.
Explain what we do with our ATP measurement, with some of the independent testing that we're doing, because we're not going to put a product out in the market that doesn't deliver total soil removal and quality outcomes. So explain what we did in these two areas as it related to Stretch that kind of put another level of confidence behind what we were doing.
No, it's a great question. We typically start with our gut first, right? Our gut is saying, I think this should work. But we never just stop there because it's just gut feel. We always turn to science. We're as much the science guys as we are vacuum recovery guys. So we went through testing after testing after testing, and we used items like ATP testing. If you're familiar with ATP, it measures all the way down to the microbial level. We're talking to the cell. So if we're able to use repurposed cleaning solution and get those floors clean enough to eat off of down to the microbial level, we were going, hey, we're onto something here. But then most importantly was, as important, we can't clean aggressively and damage the floor, right? So we went through with gloss meter testing. Are we cleaning floor to microbial level without damaging it? And what we ended up finding out was that, wow, we're seeing an increase in gloss meter readings.
That's really what blew me away is when we went out to some of customers and we're taking these readings and we're seeing the gloss go up.
Right? Like, how could that be? Well, simple. We were just removing soil. soil on a surface makes it look not as shiny, or soil on a surface will eventually damage the surface. So we had to remove it and increase. But, also stopwatch, right? We can't not measure our time efficiency. We can't say, hey, good news, we're going to remove a ton of soil, but we're going to do it in, it's going to take you 6 times longer.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
No,
that wouldn't
work.
justify the return.
So science led us in the whole process.
Finally, I know there was one other piece that really helped with the productivity. If you guys notice in the video, it's untethered, right? So one of the innovations that Stretch helped drive was our power pack. And what we're really excited about is a slide-in battery that has the ability to power this unit so that the worker's not managing a cord and he can move freely through the building. And it's a zero maintenance battery, right? It slides in, the power's ready to go, and that's a really awesome thing. So I think what we were gonna do is show you guys a little video clip of the direction that Kaivac is going as a company. We know that customers want to be untethered, and so we're looking to use this power source across the whole family of brands. So if you own multiple pieces of our equipment, you will now manage a singular power supply, whether it's a no-touch cleaning system, a hard surface floor care system, or even a kitchen system. We've got one battery that's powering it. So I'm going to bring that to life for you guys a little bit in a video, and then we'll wrap up with a little humor.
Now you can clean anywhere, anytime with the cordless, reliable power of a lithium-ion power pack. The innovative quick change design allows you to share batteries across all battery-enabled Kaivac systems. Quickly change from OmniFlex floor care systems to no-touch cleaning operations with the unique slide-in design. And if you run out of power, the quick change platform gets you back to work in a snap. Or add multiple power packs and increase productivity and cleaning range. And Kaivac's wall-mounted charging system options provides clutter-free, convenient battery charging in a centralized location.
So it's about options, right? Power options. And we like to think of the product line going a direction like a Makita or like a DeWalt. You've got one battery, but it can power all of your different tools, whether it's a jigsaw or a drill bit or even a flashlight. You've got this one power supply that can give you the power of what you need when you need it based off the application that you're cleaning with.
All right, so let me interrupt you. You've been asking me plenty of questions. Let me ask you a question. You okay?
Yeah.
What do you see this being used for?
So one of the places that I fell in love with the product is in spills. Okay, how many of you guys fight spills in your buildings on an everyday basis? It's a never-ending battle. Where there's people, there's spills. And I don't know if you guys recognize this, but almost every building in the world now is offering food and drinks like restaurant. It's crazy. You go to a gas station now and you can have a full sit-down dinner, right? So spill pickup and slip, trip, and falls and mitigating that risk are really at the front of minds of people that are running buildings, okay? And so when I think about what we do now in this industry from a spill pickup, it caused me to take pause, okay? So walk through this example with me for a second. We have a spill, we want to react to that spill quickly, and because we're all highly trained, it's going to look a little something like this. We get the safety signs out, we kind of create this perimeter, and we've got a spilled cappuccino here, and we wheel out this big, massive crash cart, and we go in for the old trusty mop, and we take a spill that's this big and we make it 10 times bigger, right? We just mop it up, right? A couple of times. And if you're a great employee, you know it is your job to kind of make sure that nobody walks through your spill. But does anybody listen? Does anybody watch? Does anybody pay attention? No, it's crazy, right? And then when I explain to Bob, and he thinks I'm crazy, but this is real, you guys are all going to get in on something. There's this phenomenon that's happening all over the world of what people do next, right? They've got options, right? They have to sit and wait. And the slip, trip, and fall world tells us that a general spill is going to take anywhere from 5 to maybe 9 minutes to dry. That's a big risk. As building occupants, how do we reduce that risk, right? Well, what I see, and it is a little funny, is the marching penguin. Does anybody know what the penguin move is before I do it? What's the penguin? It's true. But when I watch people picking up spills, after they're done mopping, they take a sign and they walk like penguins trying to dry it, which is absolutely ridiculous, right? But why are they doing it? Because they care. Right. And they know that if that spill stays out there, that the building is at risk and the occupants are at risk. What I saw was an opportunity to address it totally differently by vacuuming and then potentially cleaning it. So for me, I'd like to see a little less of this. The penguin's embarrassing. I know that I look silly there, but you guys have all seen it. You'll see it this week on my way here. Out in the hotel lobby, there's somebody out there penguining every day. It was raining today. And we're just approaching it a little bit different by saying, what if we just change the mindset? What if we stretch the mindset and we go after spills with a vacuum that's not too aggressive, it's not too big, it's not too loud, anybody can use it, and we take that risk and we shrink it to almost nothing. That's what I see.
Yeah, good.
So we hope you
I
guys...
thought you were going to send out a fleet of like penguins to...
No, not a whole fleet of penguins, just a dance. So listen, this was a little slight introduction to this. What we ultimately want you guys to do is come back to the booth and continue the conversation. We hope you guys saw some value in the message. We've got all kinds of people that are there running different scenarios. We'd love for you guys to feel the new battery, run the machine in a live environment. Let's pick up a few spills, okay? We appreciate everyone's vote. We're glad that you guys were here, and we appreciate you guys' attendance to our thing.
Great. Thank you.